Hey, it is October 2nd, 2024. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah, 3 in the afternoon. And, yeah, the last video that I made was like more than a month ago. It was a while ago. But, yeah, I had felt like making a video for a little bit. And just a moment ago, I was thinking about this idea of beginning to make, like special kinds of videos where I spend a lot of time figuring out what I'm going to talk about, so then I can present my ideas to you in the form of like essentially describing the lesson that I've undergone over that period of time. Look at it sail. Oh. Sail. Do you see yourself? What are you doing? But yeah, with these, they feel much more laid back because it's just like I can just sit here and talk to the camera and not really have a definite, like, this is what I need to be doing, other than going like, here's the day, and that's it. Yeah. But yeah, ever since getting home, I'd say for the past month, I've had an incredibly addictive like mentality and practicing it within like my lifestyle. Yeah, so after Andy left, I just started smoking a lot of weed, and leading up to leaving Phuket, I was just like stoned constantly. Yeah, and then I went to Colorado. I was sober for a few days, and then after like the guys started breaking out edibles, I just started doing edibles every single day with them, and yeah, I mean, so that was Colorado, and then yeah, I came home here to SLO County, and yeah, I remember I got in and I was excited to stop smoking weed, and then I remember I was going through my head, going through the steps of like, Benny's probably gonna have weed. Here's what I gotta do when Benny has the weed, and blah blah blah, whatever. And now we're 1 week away from when I will leave. Actually, we're 1 week away from my birthday. But yeah, a week and a day. Tomorrow is a week away from when I will leave SLO. And yeah, I've been stoned nearly every single day. Yeah, I've been playing this game with myself. Because I'd be going through these steps, stoned, lazy, doing not really that much other than just going through the day. At best, I was just enjoying the day. At the best. Yeah. And yeah, I started to go like, why am I not happy? Why can I not stop smoking? Why can I not seem to do the things that I wanted to do when I came here? Yeah, and it comes down to the continuous decision to keep smoking weed, and the surrender to my chosen lack of accountability. So then, once I had this realization, I went, okay, well, when I ask myself, when I feel sad, and when my mind goes to go, oh, why are you sad? Like, let's change this. Why are you sad? Let's do something to make it different. When my mind goes, man, I'm sad. Why am I sad? I immediately have something that goes off in my brain going, oh, but you're playing this game. You're playing this game where you smoke weed, where you vape, where you sit around, where you do nothing, where you play video games, where you just do, you have no accountability and you have no discipline. And this is the game that you're choosing to play right now. Do you want to stop playing? Okay, you don't. Well, don't complain that you're sad. Don't complain that you're mad at yourself. Like, all of these things come with this chosen path, right? Yeah. So, after having this realization, I had this realization when I think I was around people, just sitting in my own thoughts, and I was like, oh, here's this realization. Now I understand. And I could go, okay, well, I'm not going to make the switch right now because I'm around people and it's the end of the day and blah, 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 whatever. I start making all these excuses for myself, right? But in my head, I feel like, okay, cool. Like, this is another step towards moving out of this phase, right? This cycle. This phase of the cycle. Yeah. And then a few days passed, and I'm going like, fuck. Like, I haven't chosen this other option yet. I'm still smoking weed. I'm still doing all these fucking things I don't want to do. Why do I keep doing it? Yeah, and I think that's partially what I wanted to break down today. Like, why do I keep doing this if I know that it's not what I want to do? If I know it's not what it's not what my goals align with. It's not what my happiness thrives from. Yeah, I did a prompt into ChatGPT because I was curious to see what it would say. That's weird. It can't load this individual one that I'm trying to look at. That's the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, ChatGPT. I guess it's just like not uploaded in the cloud or something. Okay, I said to ChatGPT just because I wanted to have it down, so then I could look back and then decide, like, this is something I wanted to do. Ask yourself, why do you keep feeding into the same cycle? And I think where my thought process was with this is like, why do I keep finding myself back here? Where I'm like, I am choosing this thing and I don't want to do it, and I'm lacking discipline, and I'm lacking accountability, and I'm lacking confidence, and I'm lacking direction, all of these other things, and then and I start to feel so like angry about the path that I'm still on, how I'm not there yet, how I haven't achieved what I want yet. And I think experiencing this period of time where everything goes out the window and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do whatever does, right? Yeah, it makes me feel so like I'm still so early on in the path. And it's so hard to accept that because I don't know. I think that a massive part of me wants me to be so close to the cusp of like the end of it, right? I'm still 19 though. Can't believe I'm almost 20. I won't be a teenager in a week. What the fuck? Just looking at Sal doing some dumb shit. Come here. But yeah, so this cycle, how I view this cycle. Ask yourself, why do you keep feeding into this same cycle? The cycle that I think I'm referring to is this cycle where it's like, I'm in this headspace and then I'm not. And I'm in this headspace and then I'm not. I'm in this space where I can do a lot of good stuff and focus on the good things in life and eat healthy and train and work and all these other things and feel good for the most part, knowing that I'm trying, and then I enter the space where I don't try, where all I'm willing to do is wake up and pursue what will feel good, and that's it, right? I had a big distinction a moment ago where I looked at my table and on my desk, and I saw some things with some weed on it, and immediately my mind goes like, because I'm out of weed, but it has like weed paraphernalia, like old containers and papers and whatever, and a grinder. And immediately my mind goes like, oh, well, I want some weed, or let me figure out how I can get some weed today. And I start thinking about who I know that has weed, or blah, 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 whatever. My mind starts going through these steps immediately. And I make this essentially this like connection to these two similar patterns. Ow, stop. The other pattern is like, essentially I look at a whiteboard that has things that, let's say goals, right? And I'm like, okay, how can I get this goal? How can I get this done? What do I need to do? And it's funny because I feel so driven when I'm in those headspaces. And then when I'm just chasing like happiness and joy or pleasure, whatever it is, my mind is the same exact way, where it has that cue and then the craving and then the action. Yeah. And yeah, it's interesting because if I put things around me let's say if my entire space was just filled with like weed paraphernalia and like weed shit, or it's just like there's tons of, let's say there's just a strain on like every single surface, right? Of course I'm gonna think about smoking all the time, and I'm gonna smoke all the time. Let's say I have all around me all of my goals, all of my, like, it's just posted up everywhere. I cannot escape it, right? I'm gonna think of it constantly. When I see it, I'm going to think of what I can do, what I need to do next, what's the next step, right? I felt like sharing that observation because it was an interesting one. Like, this morning has been a little bit different than all of the other mornings that I've been here. Okay, so back to this. Ask yourself, why do you keep feeding into this same cycle? Why do I keep feeding this same cycle? There may be a subconscious attachment to the familiar, even when it feels uncomfortable. A cycle offers a sense of control and predictability, even if the outcome is frustrating. It could also stem from the fear of breaking free for what is known, taking risks to change patterns, often bringing uncertainty. That uncertainty can be daunting. On some level, the cycle might feel safe. Perhaps I'm holding on to an outdated belief that this is the way things should be, or that this is just, or that if I just keep pushing, something will eventually change. It could also reflect deeper unresolved fears of internal conflicts, like wanting growth and change, but being afraid of losing what's already in place. Do I truly believe I deserve something different, or is a part of me holding on to the familiar? Or does the part of me holding on to the familiar struggle because it's the only way I've learned to navigate certain aspects of life? Yeah, that's this is the first time that I've read the response from ChatGPT, which it's a little bit of a, like, yeah, sure, it's definitely like perspectives, but it's a little bit more of like a mind fuck. I think sometimes when you dig so deep into something, you dig so deep into your thoughts, you're just left with more thoughts and questions, and you're just like, well, that didn't fucking help. I can't wait until my hair gets heavy enough to where it starts pulling down, because there's so much hair. But yeah, and I was thinking about this morning. I was like, fuck. I'm watching this video of this guy, and he's like 31. He's on TikTok, and he encapsulates how I think and feel so much, because he's just so caught up in his own head, so caught up in his own illusion. And he is so caught up in analyzing his own illusion, wanting to escape what he's created for himself, right? Exactly like me, right? And yeah, I like watching this guy's videos because it gives me insight into myself. And I remember he's talking about like patterns and feeling in this same flow and in the same cycle, and how he's just frustrated that he can't escape it, and like he's just been going through this for like over 10 years now, and he thought that he would be so much farther, and he's just surprised that he's still there in that same place. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I can't imagine if I'm 30 and I'm like, fuck, I'm still like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of it. I'm almost there. Yeah, it's like, fuck that. I don't want that. Even though he makes videos and clearly helps people with their thoughts, as he's helped me, yeah, I think, like, I think I need to start growing and capturing what I'm learning, so then I can reflect on these things consistently. You know, I make these videos in order to make some kind of archive, or, wow, these frames are so fucking low. Make some kind of archive or something that feels, you know, it feels like I'm doing something here, right? But it's not worth anything if I don't reflect on any of it. Which I think that these videos, they're so like, nilly-willy, low effort, like I hit record and then I hit stop record and then upload it, that it's like, why would I spend so much time? I don't have the discipline to like watch this. It's been 17 minutes now, just to figure out what I was thinking and feeling at the time. I don't feel like doing this all the time. I can't remember the last time that I actually sat down and like listened to myself talk like this. But yeah, I think that if I spoke of this near the beginning of the video, if I chose to figure out the lesson that I've learned, so then I can write it out and articulate it in an actual video. So then I can go back and watch this much more straightforward video that I've made for my future self to reflect on, right? Yeah, I think that, honestly, I'm at the point where it's just like, I am so in between these two options, which is saying, fuck it, I'm just gonna live to be comfortable, and fuck that, I'm gonna live uncomfortably so then I can figure out, like, what this is all about. I feel like it's one of the only ways that I'm going to figure it out. If I take habits, if I instill habits that I practice every single day, I'm going to become a person that practices those things just like it's second nature, right? If I smoke weed constantly, it's just going to be second nature that I want to pick up a joint, right? So, with that in mind, if I devote myself to instilling certain habits, meditating, working out, working on my career and my goals, practicing, essentially just practicing any kind of disciplines, right? I'm going to, 10 years from now, I will be the kind of person that literally just practices these things like it's second nature, like it's just something that's always been there. So, in order to become that person, I just have to instill those habits. So, if I want to be financially wealthy, I have to instill habits that a financially wealthy person would have, right? I put all these things together, okay? I figure out the person I want to be, and I instill all these habits, and then I start working for it. And I go, I don't give a fuck if I don't see progress. I don't give a shit if I'm not where I want to be right now. If I keep doing this, then once I reach a certain point, let's say I do this for 10 years, I'm 30, and I go, okay, I have meditated, I have stayed active and worked out and achieved a physically disciplined body. I have worked on my finances, blah, blah, whatever, all these steps, right? I'm that person, okay? And then I'm there, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm still not where I imagined this would be. I think that when I'm 30, if I can look back and go, I held myself accountable, I stayed disciplined, I did everything that I knew I needed to do, and I'm still not there, I can for one know I did it. Like, I really did do it. And from that point, I believe I could take things to a further degree. Choose one thing. Let's say it's meditation. And then I take this thing, and at 30 I go and I leave everything behind and I go to a monastery or an ashram or something. Doesn't matter. Or I decide at 30 I want to... Fuck, I don't know. It just all seems like... Yeah, there's a part of me that gets so existential. Like, well, what the fuck is the point? Like, do I want to help people? Is that what I want to do? I know that's always what I've wanted to do. But as I get older, the more and more it feels like, a lot of people's problems are there because of what we're all doing collectively, right? So collectively, if we don't want to change, there's no actually helping you. Which I understand, like, obviously I could go help somebody, an individual, and that is possible. And I could do that every single day and then look back and go, wow, I've helped thousands of people. But I imagine, like, I don't know, when I imagine, like, help, I imagine, like, changing things at a massive scale. And at the same time, I just go, like, what is... Wow, there's only, like, 3 frames of her in front of the camera. But yeah, I think that I need to recenter myself on what it is I'm actually trying to cover in this individual video. I think if I got to 30 and I knew I had tried, I could reflect and go, like, what do I have? What have I earned from all of this? Do I want to keep doing this? I feel like if I got to that point at 30, I would know that I tried, and I think there's a massive fear that I'll fail because I didn't try, right? I'll fail because I didn't give it enough, because I wasn't focused, because I liked weed too much, or whatever it is. Hi. This cat is hilarious. Fucking Christ. iPhones are so pretty. They've got that look to them. But yeah, I think that, wow, I didn't wipe off, oh wait, never mind. It's the iPhone camera, I'm tripping. But yeah, so often I feel fear. I can look at some of my past videos and I can see myself trying so hard to get down to the bottom of something, right? Figure out what's on my mind or why I'm suffering from this specific thing or whatever it is. And I can look at myself there and go, and I can see myself going like I can see myself trying so hard. And I'm like, man, look at that guy. That's like, I feel like he doesn't know what he's doing at all. And I think there's a massive fear that I don't know what to do, or a fear of not doing it, right? A fear of not doing it because I didn't try hard enough, right? So then I go, because of this fear, oh no, I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it. Because of the fear of not trying hard enough, oh no, I gotta try hard, I gotta keep trying, I gotta prove to myself that I'm trying as hard as I can. I gotta prove to myself every single day that I'm trying as hard as I can. Without any real set metric or any real idea. Like, let's say I had things I wanted to practice every single day. If I knew that I practiced them, let's say 5 out of 7 days of the week, or 7 out of 7 days of the week, right? That's a metric. And I could go, okay, I for sure am trying. And now I'm not fearful that I'm not trying, because I can see that I am. There's an obvious metric in place to observe, to record and observe that I'm trying. Yeah. But I think what I want is, it feels so different to what the rest of the world seems to want, or what the rest of the world seems to be focused on. And that makes me feel like, yeah, it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I should be doing something different. Like I should be doing what everybody else is doing. But at the same time, I don't even think everybody else knows what they're doing. I don't even know what everybody else is doing, or how what I'm doing is different. I mean, I guess I can see that everybody else is like, yeah. I don't know, it's odd. The other day I was doing a crypto trade. I put like $200 into a coin, and then after like 5 minutes it was like $2,000. And I'm sitting in front of the screen with my mom going like, look at that, it's $2,000, Mom, look at, I can make money. And then it disappeared. And I lost like $100. And that felt so fucking silly because I was just looking at, yeah. The reason I felt like mentioning the crypto is because the fact that I can keep finding that, I can keep finding it. It just makes me think, God, I need to spend more time with this. I can keep finding it over and over and over again. I can keep finding it. I just need to keep trying it. But yeah, when I go back to Phuket, there's been a few things on my mind. Is that just because That's interesting. Yeah, when I go back to Phuket, I've been a little bit afraid because I remember I left and I was in Colorado and I was thinking to myself, I don't want to go back to the studio. I don't want to go back to doing that. I don't want to go back to listening to Andrew being at the very bottom of the fucking ladder of expertise. Yeah, and then like I started to think about other things that I could do, how I could keep living there in Phuket. One thing I know for sure, everything that I'm doing for Andrew is not worth 20,000 baht. And I'm pretty sure I mean, he has to keep paying everybody else 20,000 baht a month. I understand that. I understand why he's doing that. So either I need to put in less time, or he needs to pay me more money, or he needs to give me a part of Kick Punch. Yeah. But when I do go back, I think that I'll keep working with it, and I'll keep working to find clients, and I'll keep working to create content for clients, just to keep the money coming in. And I will keep working out, and I will keep meditating, and I will keep eating clean, and I will keep pursuing knowledge, and I will keep pursuing financial freedom. All of the things that I know that I want to do, all of the attributes of the person that I want to be, it's not unclear, but it just takes like reevaluation and then recentering of focus. I want to be 30 and know that I tried completely and totally. And I mean, honestly, it, yeah. Yeah, I've been sitting here for half an hour now, which that feels insane because the time will just fly by when I sit down. That's why I don't like therapists, because it feels like they're robbing me. But yeah, lately I've started to have the desire to do things again. Like a strong desire to do those things instead of doing something else. And what's stopped me from doing them has been putting those things aside and then deciding to do something else before I decide to do that thing that I wanted to do. It's that simple. And I think it's because of fear of, it being hard, or it being painful, or whatever it fucking is. There's some kind of like